Here we go. Here she is. I'm gonna walk up back to my car here, and I'll give you an update when we open her up. What's the word, reptile nerds? This is Chris at Reptiles. Yesterday I picked up a brand new reptile to add to my collection. I'm going to go over it with you and explain why it could be possibly the best reptile for those who are starting in the reptile world. So please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be updated when I have new videos coming out weekly. So stay tuned. Welcome back. This right here is Sweet Potato. She's a northern blue-tongued skink. I picked her up yesterday, and today I'm going to talk to you about why, if she is not the best, one of the best pet reptiles, especially for those who are newer to reptile keeping. And the reason being is that the requirements are very easy compared to most reptiles out there. There is some that are easier, which are geckos, but for the size and how easy they are to handle, I don't think there's one better. This girl right here, like you can see, is super docile. I haven't had her very long. I have some that I've had for a while that are just as docile. They're just so easygoing. There's a lot of pets out there that like the pet shops push. Like bearded dragons is one of them. I actually started out breeding bearded dragons. I did it for a long time. That's my first other reptile I ever bred was a bearded dragon, and that's what I used to do. The problem is that the requirements they need are a lot harder than the pet stores lead on. And what that is like their UVB, they need lots of calcium. And I've seen lots and lots of them with metabolic bone disease. Honestly, the lights that you get at the stores are not near as effective they need, I think, to keep bearded dragons. I used to keep mine out in the sun and take them out for a couple hours a day to keep them, keep that calcium up. I also dust everything with calcium, and the average keeper don't do that. And I've seen so many, like I said, just deformed and almost like a horror story. And because the pet shops lie and tell them how easy they are, and even though they're great pets and very easy to hold, but the average person doesn't know how to take care of them. These guys, the requirement's so easy, the cage setup so easy. You can get a 40-gallon aquarium. Me personally, I make my own cages for them. I use sturdy tubs that I get from True Value, and I actually build a rack. I learned from Ty Park. And they're easy to make. I'm actually get a video here to show you how to make them. I'll make it here pretty soon. But I mean, it's so simple. They're easy going, easy to take care of. And I know a lot of people that actually keep them without UVB bulbs. I keep them on UVB mercury bulbs, and the reason why is because for $25 I can keep my animals happy, and I don't have to worry about any kind of problems. And plus I even do calcium supplements. But for me, $25 is worth it to keep my pet happy. But I guess if someone has like hundreds or 200, it's a totally different story. Another thing great about them is they're super easy to feed. There's a lot of controversy about feeding them dog food, high-end dog food, but they get everything you can feed them, you can get from your grocery store. Super easy compared to a lot of animals. They're omnivores. In the wild, they eat like they come across carrion, the dead things. So their food quality don't have to be as high as some animals because they get nutrients from a lower quality food. But if you are going to do dog food, do a high grade dog food. Don't go out and get just some Walmart brand. You got to do some research, and there's a lot of forums out there to do dog food. I actually do dog food, but I also add other supplements. I use Reptile, and I also give them some other stuff too. And I do give vegetables here and there. Like I said, you can actually shop at the grocery store for him. I mean, you can go get chicken, you can get fish, you can get fresh vegetables. I can't say that about very many of my pets that I can do that with. I can do that with him and my tegus. So it's kind of a blessing. Like you run out of food, you can just run out to Safeway and pick up food and you can feed them. I can't do that with my ball pythons and my other snakes, so it's kind of wonderful. Another thing great about blue tongue skinks is they like to be handled. At least they act like it. They come to me when I come to their cage. They actually come and want to be held. They'll actually climb up in my hand. They do it very well, and that's really great if you want an animal that can be handled. I do have a couple ball pythons that actually will come to me when I open the thing, and they'll actually climb up my arm. But most of my reptiles, besides blue tongue skinks and tegus, actually like to be a pet. They come up to me, very friendly. Even when they're babies, I mean, they tame out down so quick. Just super laid back, super chilled. I put her in my workspace, or put them in my workspace, and they'll just sit around, and they'll sit there for hours, not run off, not super active. Such a great pet. I mean, just such a great lizard. And I can't say that about a lot of lizards out there. This is actually truly a pet. These are truly a pet, just like my tegu is. And even a couple of my ball pythons I consider pets. And well, a couple other snakes too. But most of my snakes I do for breeding, but there actually is some that's pets. But these guys, they like to be held like a dog. They come up to me, they'll actually walk up my hand, and so will my tegus. They'll come up to me. But you can't say that for very many reptiles. All right. So let's talk about the white elephant in the room. So if there's such great, wonderful pets, why don't you see them more often? Why don't pet stores have them? And why don't you see other people have them? And that being is because they're not super cheap. They are not as cheap as a bearded dragon. They're not cheap as the iguana. They're not cheap as geckos. And that's because they're not easy to breed. See these little legs right here? They get tore off from breeding sometimes, and they also get hurt. The males grab onto them like this. They pinch down hard and bite. It's kind of awkward, and arms get lost, and they get hurt. So someone has to physically watch them breed. It's kind of awkward. You have to sit there for a half hour watching this thing breed and see if it's going to take, and you got to make sure it doesn't get hurt. Or ball pythons, which are plentiful and a lot of them are cheap. It's because I breed them myself. I take the male, I put it with the female, and I leave it there for a set amount of time. I move it to the next female, leave it there for a set amount of time, and then if I'm done, I move it back into his cage and let it rest. These guys, not so much. You have to watch them. So a lot of people just want them as pets, not as, not to breed them, which I understand. That being said, people pay, thousands of dollars for cats and dogs. This thing, especially in our fast-paced life, it makes a great pet. You can pull it out when you want it. Very cuddly, very easy to interact with, very relaxing, very sweet. And it's just, you need to ask yourself, is this kind of, is it worth it to me? Obviously it is to me, but is it to you? I mean, I want a low maintenance animal that likes attention, and it's the closest I'm going to get to a dog in the reptile world. This one and tegu, I believe, to me personally, are the most close I'm going to get to a dog. And like I said, this I've only had it for a day, and it already acts like the rest of my tegu. My rest of my skinks. So, anyways, please like and subscribe. Every Wednesday and every Saturday I put out a new video, so please hit that notification bell, and it'll tell you when my videos come out. I'll see you next time.